Hi, my name is Jessica Lanza, and today I'll be discussing what the disability support pension is and the relevant data towards the disability support pension. The disability support pension is a fund that is being created to help support the individuals who have a physical, intellectual, or psychiatric condition that disables them from being able to join the workforce, or individuals who are suffering from blindness. For an individual to be eligible for the disability support pension, they must be between the age of 16 years and at the age of the pension. They also have to be defined as being permanently blind or have undergone an assessment and said to have a physical, intellectual, or a psychiatric impairment. Also, if the individual is unable to work or is to be retrained for their work for 15 hours or more per week at or above the minimum wage within the next 2 years of their impairment. Another way to receive the pension is if the individual has been assessed and diagnosed as having a severe impairment or as having actively participated in a program of support. The disability support pension payment rates are updated on March 20th and September 20th each year for those who are over the age of 21 or under the age of 21 with children. The individuals or their partner's income and assets may affect the disability support pension rate. The rate that each individual or couple can receive are displayed on the screen now, with the rates differing from single, couples, age, children, at home or independent, etc. The amounts that have already been listed exclude the pension supplement. This is a fortnightly payment additional to the base pension. The highest amount rate of the pension supplement for singles who are over the age of 21 and for each of the members within a couple who are over the age of 21 years of age who are separated due to the ill health is $62.90 a fortnight. The maximum rate for a couple both over the age of 21 is $94.80 a fortnight combined. The youth disability supplements are also included in these amounts, including a fortnightly payment additional to the base pension for those under the age of 21. The maximum rate of the youth disability supplement is $118.20 a fortnight.
At an individual level, people with a disability are experiencing varying levels of poverty, partly because they are at a disadvantage to the general population. Disabled people account for 18.5% of the population, according to the Australian Bureau of Statistics 2012 report. If they are unable to work because of their disability, they are forced to rely on family and the government for financial support. If not, the person is trying to compete with every able-bodied person for employment. It is also their personal choice to accept the help they're offered. Not everyone will accept help, even if it is the help they need. The person could also decide not to get further education to improve their lives. The Australian Bureau of Statistics state that only 13% of the disabled population have achieved higher education qualifications. We are well aware that education seems to be a core aspect for improving their chances of getting themselves out of poverty. Current figures from the Australian Bureau of Statistics also show that while the percentage of people with a disability who are employed has stayed much the same between 2009 and 2012, the rate of unemployed people with a disability rose. Is this because more people have found it necessary to apply for and receive unemployment benefits? On a structural level, the government does give the disability pension to those that are able to meet the criteria. There is also other help available from such places as their local council, who offers services to people with a disability ranging from personal care all the way through to building ramps if needed. But these also have criteria and a possible minimal cost associated with them, which the government does not fully cover. Without the disability pension, many disabled people would be living on the streets and could go without the basic necessities needed to survive. For some, this is their only source of income. While the government's disability pension is efficient at helping those with a disability, it makes up for only 16% of the gross domestic profit, according to Marsden et al. 2014. For employers of people with a disability, the government has funded an employment assistance fund which can financially help employers to make modifications, obtain equipment and training to better equip them with their employment of a disabled person. For those that are unable to work, the disability pension is not enough to help them out of poverty and give them financial security. Should the government be spending more to help those with a disability? I think the government should increase the payment rates, but with this sensitive economic balance, is this even possible?
Hi, my name's Madison, and I will be discussing the experiences and impacts of inequality and poverty on people with a disability. More than 1 billion people, or approximately 15% of the world's population, are estimated to live with some form of disability. People with disabilities have generally poorer health, lower education achievements, fewer economic opportunities, and are more likely to be living below the poverty line than people without disabilities. One of the main issues when faced with a disability is unemployment. Having a disability can mean that you are unable to work, and if you can work, the amount of job opportunities available can be limited depending on the disability. Being unable to work lowers people's socio-economic status and gives them less money to spend on vital necessities such as food, shelter, education, and medical expenses. When there is no money for food, families can go hungry and miss out on important nutrients. People living in a low socioeconomic status are also more likely to choose unhealthy food options such as fast food. Having less income, furthermore, stops people from receiving adequate medical treatment that may be necessary when living with disability. These inequalities can impact on the emotional well-being of the individual and their surrounding family and friends, causing increased stress levels and low self-esteem. People living with a disability have, on average, poorer mental health than people who had experienced the death of a spouse in the previous year. The amount of stigma and social exclusion that people with disabilities face may contribute to this statistic.
Hi everyone, I'm Brittany. Today I'll be addressing the following questions. Firstly, what is one's social security payment relevant for people with a disability? Secondly, I'll be providing an argument about the extent to which this benefit helps to reduce or alleviate poverty for disabled people. The disability support pension is one social security payment that disabled people may be eligible to receive. There are eligibility basics which must be met before an individual is granted the disability support pension. These include being over 16 years of age but under the age pension age. Appliers must also be permanently blind or have been assessed as having an intellectual, physical, or psychiatric impairment. Full eligibility details can be found on the Department of Human Services website. Did you know, in an Australian Council of Social Service, also known as ACOS, report from 2012, it was identified that in 2010, 42% of those on the disability support pension lived below the poverty line. Now, let's get into the financial side of things. Firstly, it is important to note that the disability support pension payments are reassessed once or twice per year, depending on the individual situation. Please take a moment to read over the current maximum payment rates according to the Department of Human Services. Importantly, these rates exclude the additional fortnightly payments for the pension supplements and youth disability supplements. These payments range from $62.90 a fortnight to $118.20 a fortnight, depending on the individual's base pension rate. Like the pension supplements, you may also be eligible to receive other payments and services that may benefit your situation. These benefits include mobility allowance, pensioner concession card, pharmaceutical allowance, rent assistance, telephone allowance, utilities allowance, and skills for education and employment. So what does this mean in regards to poverty? Well, it could be argued that these payments are assisting in preventing people with a disability from suffering in absolute poverty, as they are receiving between $345 to $766 per fortnight, depending on their situation. This is before any other benefits or supplements are taken into account. From the table below from ACOS 2012, Poverty in Australia, you can see that the poverty line for 4 different types of families are as follows. A lone pensioner is $358, couple only is $537, the lone parent with 2 children is $573, and a couple with 2 children is $752. This poverty line is based on 50% of the median weekly income. So, from the table on the previous slide, we are told a few things. Firstly, we can assume that the people collecting the disability support pension are not suffering under absolute poverty. However, it is most likely that they are experiencing relative poverty, since the pension's base rates are sitting below the poverty line. but with the money they are receiving and the benefits they are eligible for, they are able to meet their basic needs. Therefore, this can conclude that the disability support pension is assisting in reducing the severity of the poverty felt by disabled people, but not so much the number of people experiencing the poverty.